Hare Krishna. Turning to verse 15. Chapter 15, verse 15, very important verse in the Yoga of the Supreme Person. And this verse is important for one reason, one main reason. There's 2 points in it, so it's important in 2 ways. But one, it stands out more than anything else. And that is that we talk about yoga. We talk about the Bhagavad Gita. We talk about the Vedas, of which the Bhagavad Gita is part. Well, now, in this verse, Krishna points out what is the purpose and the goal of all of these things. What is the goal of yoga? What is the goal of Vedas? What is the goal of knowledge in particular? Because it's very important. We do things for a result. We do things because we want to go somewhere, and particularly because we want to get a result. So, what is the purpose of all of these things? Krishna points that out in this verse. And he also explains. For instance, he gives us an idea as to what our conscience is, not consciousness, but our conscience, intuition is, why it is that we sometimes intuitively understand and feel something. Anyway, let me read the verse, and then you get an idea of what we're speaking about here. Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham ridisani vishto matasmitir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarver aham eva vedyo vedantakrit vedavit eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Then he says, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I'm the compiler of Vedanta, and I'm the knower of the Vedas. First point, I'm seated in everyone's heart. We're not alone. Yes, the soul is present within the region of the heart, sort of over here. And along with the soul is the Supreme Soul. Krishna is saying, I'm seated in everyone's heart. Now we're only seated in our heart. He is in everyone's heart. Just like the sun is above everyone's head. So similarly, Krishna is in everyone's heart. Now, from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Have a déjà vu? Remember something that just appears to be from a different time, a different dimension. Where does it come from? Krishna unlocks the remembrance. We forget things. That forgetfulness also comes from him. And knowledge. So knowledge comes from him. Instinct in animals. Why do all dogs bark? Why do they all behave in certain ways? Why do they have common instinctual habits? Why do birds migrate? Who tells them to go? Krishna says, from me comes knowledge. We also have an intuition. What is it when a child intuitively feels like he's doing something wrong without necessarily ever being corrected? What is it that when we feel that something's right, something's wrong, something's not right, how we should do something, where does that come from? Krishna says, this is coming from me. So if we really want to do the right thing and live life in the right way, all the knowledge is there. Krishna's there. But rather, we just need to turn to him and know how to unlock that knowledge. It requires a certain level of advancement in bhakti yoga. And until we reach that, that's what Bhagavad Gita is for. Now the second part. By all the Vedas I am to be known. What's the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? Know Krishna. What's the purpose of the Upanishads? Know Krishna. What's the purpose of the four Vedas? To know Krishna. What's the purpose of all the Puranas? To know Krishna. Krishna says, by all the Vedas sarver, sarva means all. By all the Vedas I'm to be known. So whether directly or indirectly, this is what the purpose of the Vedas is. Now, unfortunately, in the world that we live in today, we will go to yoga class, we will go to Vedanta class, we will study comparative religions, we may study Indology and so on. We will not get this knowledge. Why not? Because this is what the Bhagavad Gita says. And it's not just the Bhagavad Gita that says it. But Krishna makes it very clear, by all the Vedas I am to be known. Now please note, Krishna is standing on a chariot in front of Arjuna, and he's saying, I am to be known. He's not talking about something ethereal. He's not talking about something very, very subtle, beyond perception. He's not talking about something unmanifest or some energy. He's saying, I am to be known. And he's pointing to his chest. So, by the Vedas, I am to be known. Now, not only that, he says, but I'm the compiler of Vedanta. Means that Vyas, who is the author, is actually an incarnation. He is called the literary incarnation of the Supreme. We talk about incarnations, we talk about avatars. He's the literary incarnation. There are two different ways in which scripture is written. It's either written by self-realized souls who have fully realized God, or it's written by the Supreme himself. In this case, the Vedas are written by the Supreme directly. Therefore, they're faultless. In both cases, they have to be faultless. Conditioned souls are those people who are not perfect, who are not fully self-realized. They're actually not qualified to write scripture because it will have mistakes in it, because they are subject to defects. But the Supreme is not subject to defects, neither are those who have connected with the Supreme. And he says, I'm the compiler of the Vedas, and I'm the knower of the Vedas, which goes without saying. So what Krishna is telling us here is, this is the essence of the Vedas. Krishna is the knower of the Vedas. And therefore, the instructions that he gives are the purpose of the Vedas. And he himself as a person, that's why this is yoga of the Supreme Person. He himself as the person is the goal of all Vedas. So if you're practicing yoga, whatever type of yoga you're practicing, so long as it's authorized and it's coming from the Vedas, the goal of that yoga, whether you know it or not, is Krishna. And to surrender to Krishna. We may like it or not like it, but that's what the yoga books say. So if we really want to practice yoga and accept yoga, then yes, we'll accept it. But the goal of my yoga is Krishna. And accepting what Krishna says, that is called surrender. All right, he's the purpose of my yoga. Now whatever he tells me, I will do. That is bhakti. Hare Krishna.